Hello and welcome to the Street Crime UK YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Today we look at the rapper who has been imprisoned for at least 33 years for killing a young man in a failed robbery and hiding his body in a cupboard. Euan Peters, 42, who rapped under the name Sax Coke, beat the victim Shafil Islam, 22, with an empty cider bottle. The court heard that executor Mr. Peters was hired as muscle to recover the debt when the attack took place. Mr. Peters previously starred in a YouTube rap video, boasting his criminal record in prison and his abilities to sell drugs. Two men who helped Mr. Peters, murder and subsequent robbery, were convicted of manslaughter. Prosecutor Mark Wees, QC, said the group ate curry together at a restaurant before going to Mr. Islam's apartment where the murder took place. Mr. Wees said police and rescue personnel discovered that the apartment had been looted and that the resident Shafir Islam had lost consciousness and was partially lying in a cupboard. His eyes were open, breathing, bloody and immobile. He was taken to Royal Gwent Hospital where a CT scan was performed and it was discovered that he had a catastrophic brain injury. CCTV showed that Mr. Peters picked up an empty bottle of Copal Versi cider from an Indian restaurant. This later turned out to be the murder weapon. The criminal court in Newport has heard that Islam was injured and died 6 days after the attack after being struck at least 3 times by the bottle. Judge Jefford told the murderer, Shafir Islam suffered a catastrophic brain injury after Mr. Peters beat him with a bottle. Perry Dunwell, 33, was in prison for 13 years and 9 months, and Conran Danian, 23 years old, in Newport was also detained for manslaughter for 9 years and 6 months. The Newport Criminal Court has heard that the dealer Islam was targeted for debt to a drug gang believed to be worth up to £10,000. Mr. Peters appears in a music video, rapping under the name Sax Coke in a series of YouTube videos boasting sales of cocaine and cannabis. In one song, Mr. Peters raps, "Fuck HMP" outside Cardiff prison and is proud to be spent 10 years behind bars. I was struck on their wings with those murderers and lifesaver, but I made it through a family that I was born a survivor. Mr. Peters was sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 33 years after being convicted of murder as a result of the trial. After he was convicted of murder and conspiracy to rob, Timothy Evans, prosecuting, told Newport Crown Court he had 19 convictions for 51 offences. These included robbery, inflicting grievous bodily harm, assault occasioning actual bodily harm, and possession of an offensive weapon. Newport's Mr. Danian and Mr. Danwell escaped murder but were found guilty of manslaughter. Rumney's Mr. Peters of Cardiff did not plead guilty to the murder but was found guilty after the trial. Mr. Peters admitted to the robbery plot. Mr. Danian and Mr. Danwell denied the plot to rob but were found guilty. What are your thoughts about Euan Peters? And did he receive a reasonable sentence for the brutal attack, leaving his victim with severe brain injuries? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, stay safe.